Hello, it's Netty, I'm back, and I thought I'd start a series which is just me chatting, doing some crochet, knitting, crafting, whatever, story time if you will, but I know some people might get mad on here. You've nicked my idea, story time. Shut up, as if it's not really a story time. Anyway, let's not cause any drama. What I'm doing is, I'm just being silly, this gremlin for one of my friends, and working from the photo, I've done his hood, but he's got like a bit on top of the hood there, which I'm not sure which way to go about putting it on. I think like that would look. Is he cute? He's cute in his own way, isn't he? And then have a chat about stuff which has been going on and stuff like that. So, right, first thing I've got to do is stuff this. So, I wanted to talk about this because if it's happening to me, it's happened or will happen to other people as well. So, basically, I was getting a lot of blood tests done, and it kept coming back with high white blood cells, high lymphocytes, and it led to a diagnosis of a benign brain tumour called a prolactinoma, because they found high prolactin levels in my body, which is strange. Don't fall some. So that, anyway, found it. There it was showing up on the scan, benign, which is a brilliant word. We love benign. And yeah, so every year I have a scan. I've had my 1 year scan, and so far it's remained stable. It's not got any bigger and it's not shrunk. Now, I am supposed to be on a medication for that to shrink it, but I had a bad reaction, and at this point we don't actually know whether it was a reaction to the medicine or if it is something else. So I was still being persistently fatigued. It led to what they thought was a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome. I haven't been able to do much art, which is why it's been really quiet on this channel. I can do some crochet, as you can see right now, knitting, crochet. This is an eclectic mix, this, of knitting and crochet. So I can do some when I'm not feeling well. But I'd started taking this medicine to hopefully get rid of this tumour, because it shouldn't be there. And my neck swelled up like crazy. My face swelled up like what you'd call moon face, like someone that's on steroids. And yeah, it was absolutely bonkers. It was like I had a neck basically like someone off World's Strongest, like Eddie Hall, or like one of my favourite bands, because I'm into a lot of heavy metal. I look like George Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. I really like George, he's great, but good family man, you know. But as much as I like the music and as much as I love Cannibal Corpse, I don't really want to look like Georgie boy, do I? So actually, fun fact, you know those filters where you, if you're, depending on what sex you are or whatever, it shows you what you look like as the opposite gender. Now I'm talking if you're female and you choose female on it, it'll show you what you look like as male. Now, yeah, so I chose, I'm female, so I chose male, and I looked on the filter exactly like George Corpse Grinder. Coincidence? I think. Anyway, that's just a fun thing there that happened. Anyway, so yeah, for a year or over a year now, I was going back and forth to the doctors, slipping through the cracks, which in the UK is very common. The system is set up in such a way that it is so easy to fall through the cracks, unfortunately. Now, every time I went, I was getting a different GP, and it was just doing me. There was no answer. It was like, right, we found it's not this and it's not this. They looked for, I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it up on the screen anyway. And all kinds of, yeah, try this, and there was no kind of thing for it. I started getting really out of breath and it wasn't like where you're unfit, because it was like anything and everything was just getting me out of breath. And so they gave me an inhaler, some steroids to take a course, and just this neck got no better. I started developing a lump on under my right armpit, and also inflammation on my abdomen and also thighs. So finally I seen, oh yeah, the first doctor that I seen, well, he wasn't actually a doctor, he's a health consultant, so he wasn't a doctor, he was a mister. Now, he googled, while I was there, he was googling my symptoms, and one of the things he said to me was, don't worry, it's nothing that's going to put you into a box. And I don't know, that's kind of wow. Anyway, so they did loads of different scans and all sorts of things like that. What are they called? Ultrasound scan on my neck, and an MRI on my back, because oh god, that's a whole other story, isn't it? But basically 2016 I was in a road traffic accident, and because I was a carer for my parents, they kind of rushed it through because they couldn't find anyone to kind of look after them, and sent me home just with my head sewn up. Not just with my head sewn up, but they didn't look at anything else, and all these years later I'm in absolute agony with my spine. They found a tumour on that which was benign, funnily enough. And also, I don't want this to sound like I'm moaning or anything, just by the way, I'm just telling what happened, because I'm thinking, well, if this is happening to me, it's going to be happening to others as well. And so basically they've done nothing with that really. I am on certain painkillers, but it's just doing nothing at all, and they won't give me anything else. So yeah, it was still going on, and they've done all this. Oh great, we'll send you to this, send you to this type of different things, but no real care really, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm still in a lot of pain and feeling really fatigued and everything, and they oh yeah, but only this year, so I'm talking 2025, I got to see this GP who I'd never met before, and she was so nice. Was it, you know, such someone that you just want to cuddle or whatever, smile, personality. It was so nice. And yeah, she went, right, I'm going to fast track you. Okay. Uh-oh. Fast track is that they suspect cancer. So that happened, the first time that happened to me I was coughing up blood, and it turned out to be, I had to have a camera down the throat. Turned out to be, what was it? It turned out to be something in my stomach, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all sinister, so that's good. That's good. So there he is with his full cape on now. I just want to do his arms, and I'm going to knit them as we talk. So you can stay there. And yeah, so let's do basic arms. So I'm going to start with the arms at the hand end, and then we're going to put some fingers on him as well. So yeah, where was I? And then another 5 times after that has been fast tracked over the last few years. Head and neck cancer turned out to be the pituitary adenoma. Breast cancer turned out to be from the pituitary adenoma because it affects all your hormones. And then a few times with the head and neck cancer, and it's all come back. Oh, it's fine, it's nothing. We found some fibroids. Oh no, that wasn't it, that one. But they had found some fibroids as well on the last scan. So yeah, mad. Oh, what was it they found? Thyroid something or other, lesions in the thyroid. Ah, don't worry about that, no worries. Okay. Oh, I am worried. Shouldn't be there. And yeah, anyway, so she puts me through this latest doctor, and she's suspecting lymphoma, which is, if you've heard of Hodgkin's, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, that's what I'm talking about. So it's a type of blood cancer. So yeah, that was scary. I think that's the scariest cancer scare I've had, and that's like the 7th one. 7, which is a bit too much for, I mean, the average person probably has maybe 1 or 2, I guess, if they do have any. I don't know, but there we are, it's just the way it is. So luckily for me, they all turned out fine. But so blood test came back. Yeah, chronic inflammation in the body. So okay, oh, 1 row, I'll do that. And yeah, the high white blood cell count, high lymphocyte count. I'm going to send you through to a consultant haematologist, and I'm suspecting that you may have lymphoma. Oh, right, okay, great. Bloody great. So, my partner comes with me to see this oncologist chap who specialises in haematology, and he was great. He was very, very thorough, good doctor, based in Carlisle. I'm in Cumbria, so I'm not going to tell you where. But yeah, so he puts me through for a, oh no, I've already been put through for a scan by that time by my GP. They put me through for a CT scan. That comes back with a tumour which is behind my breastbone, and it's 5 centimetres by 3 centimetres by 2 centimetres. I think that works out, you know, the same when you're measuring a parcel to send off in the mail, that kind of thing. 5B2, 5B3, B2. So yeah, they find that and they go, right, this is a bugger. Where it's located, beginning with a pearl rose doll, stitch 9 for doll with very long sleeves. Just 9 rows there for his little hand, but we are going to give him big long fingers as well. He's got big long yellow nails as well. So yeah, yeah, where this tumour's located, it's quite difficult to get to. So usually when they suspect a malignant tumour, it came up with germ cell, I'll put the exact name underneath, germ cell tumour. They want to do a biopsy. Now sometimes, and folk who have to have a biopsy, it is painful, you're awake for it usually. It's not the most pleasant experience, but for me it's a little bit more pleasant in the way I'm going to be having general anaesthetic for it. That is in April sometime, I believe. With this week Wednesday, I've got to go up to Newcastle to meet the surgeon. It was supposed to be tomorrow on the Tuesday, but he's been called to theatre, which I don't mind, which that's potentially saving someone's life with a operation that needs doing there and then. So to me it's no bother. I can just phone the transport and go, yeah, no worries, we'll change that. Everything's gone fine, they've been really good. So yeah, I'm going to be asleep for it, probably going to have lots of nice painkillers after it, and then I just get to go home, hopefully. Right, touch wood there, for Christ's sake. Right. Right, so yeah, a bugger to get to, right behind the breastbone. There it is. That's a pain in the isn't it? So I'm just waiting on that now. I'm waiting on Wednesday to meet up with the surgeon and the anaesthetist. They're going to talk through the procedure of how they're going to do it, how they're going to go about it. I had last week, I think, I had a PET CT scan done, which is I had to fast for quite a few hours before and have saline. You see my hands are bruised. All these cannulas, but it went there, and it's some saline and some radioactive glucose kind of substance, and it was to show up any tumours. Now the idea was hopefully that would show up a hotspot where they go, right, we can go in that way and get it easier. It didn't. There was no hotspots, but they did find, I was talking to the oncologist hematologist fella today, because he's both, he's a specialist in this type of thing, and he said about if it is a lymphoma, it's a low grade, which is great. That means that if any tumours are malignant, that means that they're growing really slowly. If it's high, see, which it isn't, which is great, touch wood, that means that it's growing very quickly. So ideally you don't want that. So yeah, also they suspect it is now the name has gone from my brain. I can see on my phone because you're not supposed to Google, but I don't know what. Now they suspect, the radiologist suspects it's a teratoma, because they seen it was a germ cell tumour. They suspect that at this point, right, the thing is, if it is malignant, even the most tiniest cancer cell can perplex the world's most experienced oncologist. So I mean, they can't 100% say it is this and it is this at this stage until they do the biopsy, which I am happy to do. They haven't said like, well, you don't really have to. So I mean, it's a case of I have to and they want me to do it. So I haven't really got a choice. If I had a choice, I'd be like, no. Just because of the fact I've never had general anaesthetic, and I've heard all sorts of different things. Of course, you know, when it comes to this sort of thing, all you hear is the bad stories. You hear, somebody, there's a tube that goes down your throat, obviously, so they want you to breathe. And they broke this person's teeth, you know, things like that. And I'm pretty sure when I have a word on Wednesday that they're going to assure everything like that. They do it, you know, like that's their job every day. Like you go to a restaurant and there's a chef who makes 20 chicken dinners a day. He does that same chicken dinner. Someone says to him, can you make it gluten free? Can you do this? I don't want the chicken cooked this way, or I maybe don't want the vegetables with it. So there's little variations in every dish, maybe, you know, how people want it. And he's happy to send it out and do, because he's professional, he does it every day and he sends them out. This is exactly the same kind of idea where, right, okay, so this person's tumour is here, so we have to go through a different route or whatever. It's the same kind of process. The professionals, you know, they go into work every day, probably 200 people coming in and out every day having general anaesthetic, basically like a roundabout, you know. It's happening. So that bit I'm not worried about. I've got my head around that. It's just the fact that I've never had it before. I've had local anaesthetic, that's totally different. But yeah, so that's a little niggle there, but again, I'm not too worried about that. It's just, once it's done and everything, that'd be great. They can send it off, and I don't know at this stage whether it's a case of let's just get it out, cut it out, and it's gone. But if they do find cancerous cells in it, obviously that means that I start chemotherapy, which is quite a scary prospect. Again, you only hear the bad, and yeah, but there we are. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. That's all I can do, isn't it? I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Otherwise, my blood test results, all that's come up is obviously the white blood cell count was high again. There is signs of chronic inflammation. Now, if they find that this is a malignant tumour, they reckon it's quite a matured one as well. They can't possibly say whether it's benign or malignant at this point. Now, that if it isn't malignant, there is the possibility that I have to go back to the GPs and what is causing inflammation. It's very, very elusive. Whatever it is, it's not showing up in my bloods. It's just, and now I wonder, because I've got arthritis from the accident in the RTA in my spine. Now a lot of that is from caring for my parents, not knowing how to lift properly or being taught how to lift people properly. Or I thought I made a bit more progress. You'll see it looks a bit different. I've done the two arms. Now, where did I get up to with the story? So, about they found chronic inflammation in the body, and blood test came back with high white blood cell count and high lymphocyte, as per usual, but nothing else really that would show anything too sinister. But this tumour that's behind my breastbone somewhere, it hasn't got any bigger since the last scan, which is brilliant. Now the radiologist thinks, but isn't 100% sure obviously, that it may be a what's it called? I remember it sounds like terrastoma. Terrastoma. I'll put it up on the screen. And it could be benign, it could be malignant, we don't know at this stage. They reckon that it might have been there for a long time, but again, they don't know. But because it hasn't, it's remained kind of stable within about 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. I had an MRI, then I had a CT scan about last week. So although that's not a long time, that's a good sign that in that amount of time it hasn't grown. But it is quite a large tumour. It's classed, I'm not sure the classification, but as far as I'm aware from people who I know who've had tumours, a small one, like my one in my brain on the pituitary, is about 2 mil. This one is 5 centimetres by 3 centimetres by 2 centimetres. So if you were sending a parcel through the post, you go, height, weight, length, width, height kind of thing. So I'm guessing it's the same kind of thing. So it is classed as a large tumour. Now, there's parts of it which are, I can't think of the word, but they're basically dead. And then the germ cell that they can see. And sometimes germ cells, that means that it's got like teeth, hair, organ in it. It's crazy. And there is some kind of thing where people think that it's a twin, that you've had a twin. And but I'm pretty sure something like Snopes would say that that's a load of rubbish. But yeah, that's quite brutal. But yeah, so I'll put on the screen the type of tumour that it is. Now, yeah, at this stage again, we don't know if it's maybe they can't say for sure until they do a biopsy. I've got a meeting on Wednesday. Now I'm talking, this is Monday. I'm going to meet up with the anaesthetist and the surgeon in Newcastle, which is about 3-4 hours from me, something like that. So it's a hell of a long journey. And they're going to discuss how the process is going to go to get a biopsy. So the CT scan I had last week, they were hoping that it would bring up a nice hot spot so they'd be able to get in there easy and get a biopsy. But because of where it is, and it's located behind my breastbone, it's not an easy one to get through. So I do have to have general anaesthetic, which is quite a scary thing. I've never had that before. But I have had local many times from different things. Last time I had it, it was to full removal of both big toenails. And there was no worries at all. I didn't find anything dramatic or anything about that at all. But at first I was thinking today, I was like, well, is this any answer really? The thing they are concerned about, and they have found, is that there is a lot of inflammation in the body. They just really don't know where it's coming from, which is a pain, because all I want at this stage now is just to get stuck into some type of treatment that'll just treat it, and I want to feel better again. Now, for the rest of my life, I'm going to have the arthritis in my spine. So it might just be a case of it's the arthritis which is causing the inflammation in the body. Who knows? But no one seems to be able to find specifically what it is that's causing this inflammation, but if the biopsy comes up with something, well, that'd be great. Now, again, at this stage, I'm like, well, just find something and then I can start a treatment and just get on with it. That's all I want, really, you know? So, I hope by the end of April, I am going to be knowing exactly what's going on, and, you know, and get on with it and just do it, you know. It might not necessarily be cancer, which is awesome. If it was, I'd just be ready. I'd just be ready to get stuck in and like, come on, bring it on, you know. But whatever the hell it is, and I'm ready. I'm just ready now to give it hell. And just, it's like this tumour. I'm not sure if they're just gonna, you know, wallop it out if it isn't cancer, if I'm honest. But I'm just ready for them to just get it out to me. It shouldn't be there. And or is it something that they're gonna keep their eye on for a few years or months and see that, right, that's growing now, we're going to take it out? But to be honest with you, I'm just hoping they go, right, let's get it out and just get it over and done with, but find out what is causing this inflammation. So that's the latest and greatest, really. That's it's quite frustrating that there's no definitive, right, 100% this is what it is, but they're starting to know. So, yeah, that's that. So, I thought I'd talk about some other things. It's like what I've been up to, really. I mean, I've been making lots of stuffed toys, as I'm making one right now as we speak. Mostly Pokemon and Star Wars as well. Yeah, Star Wars characters, and yeah, getting stuck into that. Selling on Whatnot. Actually, that's what my friend does, who I'm making this for. Pokemon cards. If you're into Pokemon cards, I'll put his link in the description. No worries. So I've actually started working on my gaming channel, and it's just simply called Netty Gaming, and that's where I show all the trading cards that I've got. So I think it's Hello Kitty. There's Hello Kitty Elf Babies, which is a unofficial Pokemon one, and also the actual Pokemon cards themselves, yeah. So what else I've been doing? Music I've been listening to. There's just the one track from Jawn that I really like. It's called I Walk Alone. I've been listening to a hell of a lot of Fear Factory. Oh, who else have I been listening to? Arch Enemy a lot. Machine Head. Hatebreed. Perseverance is my favourite song at the moment, because I need a lot of perseverance with everything that's being chucked here. I say I'm not feeling sorry for myself, not one bit. I'm just concerned that if this is happening to anyone else, you know, and you're finding you kind of feeling almost fobbed off by healthcare. I mean, yeah, it's set up in such a way that it almost feels like you do end up slipping through the cracks, and it is so easy to as well. It's almost like you've got to bully them in a way. You know, you don't want, not in an abusive way or whatever, but like if you're not happy with an answer, see someone else, see a different GP, please. You know, I say the sister. I don't want to get too much into politics on my YouTube, but the NHS it needs repairing really, really badly, and it's such a shame to see, because it is such, a valuable service, and to see that happening over the years. I mean, you used to be able to book an appointment for the same day. Now it's like 2 months in advance, and it's either a case of, you've got way worse, or it's like, actually it's gone, by the time the appointment has arrived. But yeah, for goodness sake, yeah, I mean, anyone wants to talk political, and I don't do Twitter anymore. I'd probably get a little bit more political on Threads, if we're honest, than anything. But I'm not there to argue. I'm there to support, because I like doing that, and that's exactly why I'm doing this. I'm hoping the right people see it, or I don't know if people notice or whatever. But there's like a 1 or 2 year gap while all this has been going on. I've been trying to find out what's going on. Now, in that 2 years, is that how long the tumour has been there? Has it been there longer? Who knows? But yeah, I'm on the way to finding out now. I'm just wanting to get on with, making videos and stuff like that, and yeah. So that's later. As for films, been watching X-Men, Iron Man, all that kind of stuff. All the Transformers movies. But my favourite kind of movies are British comedies. I'd say my favourite one of them is Gregory's Girl. I also really like Made in Dagenham. I like, comedy-wise, I like The Adam and Joe Show. I really love that. Yeah, so comedy is my big thing. I love musicals, especially Little Shop of Horrors, and what am I thinking of? The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Love that. Yeah, but I think out of movies, it's cartoon ones that I watch the most, and my favourite being, I love the My Little Pony movie, the Care Bears movie, my all-time favourite movie is the original cartoon Transformers, the movie from the 80s. Yeah, the Mask, but with Cher in. You know the one? That's another 80s. I am an 80s freak, if we're honest. Yeah. But I've just been getting on with some knitting and crochet when I've got the strength. I do find I get very tired easily, and it's like as if I haven't slept for a couple of days or something, and it's hard actually getting to sleep as well. And with my neck being swollen the way it is, it's not painful, it's uncomfortable, but somewhere something is kicking off and it's saying no, and I just hope to heck I get to the bottom of this. But there we are, that's just the way it is. But yeah, what else stuff to talk about? Yeah, I'm into, if anyone's got any good recommendations for rock or metal. I mean, I like that's me. Cannibal Corpse, Arch Enemy, Megadeth. I like Iron Maiden. I like Dimmy Burger. Puritanism, Fear Factory. I really love. Yeah. So any music recommendations, I'd really appreciate. Any film recommendations, especially British comedies. Like I say, my instant one I think of there is Gregory's Girl. Yeah, I'm not really big into the whole mega CGI kind of thing. But I do like the odd one, and my favourite superhero is Black Widow. I do like Wonder Woman, but I like the original TV series Wonder Woman. Sorry, Gal Gadot, I'm not that big fan, no. But yeah, there we are. That's it, really. I just finished this little guy, and then I can send him to my friend. There we go. So just his little arm to sew up now. That was a fun one, and it was just working off a photograph, yeah. So I like the challenge, you know. So did I write a pattern? No, but if anyone's interested, I can try. And I mean, it's knitted and it's crochet, but I don't know. There's something fun about creating something that there isn't a pattern for. It's more of a challenge, isn't it? Gets your brain working. So I'm just going to tuck these row ends in. I'm hoping to do more art soon, actually. I've got a video which is in the process of being maybe about into it being maybe about halfway there. And some people I admire, musicians, some people I know online or in real life have got involved and said they want to be a part of it. And what I do is I'm drawing them with either their favourite Pokemon or one that reminds me of them, like one of my old school friends. I'm putting their hobbies and interests into it, and she's not a Pokemon fan as such, but she said she wants to be a part of it, so she's actually my next one to do. So there we go. How are you doing? I don't know what your name is, but there he is. He's ready to go into battle. And I hope you enjoyed me finishing making him and having a chitty chat and catching up. And I'd like to do a few more of these, I think. So yeah, having a chat, laid back, and just talking about stuff in general, and hopefully it helps someone. So anyway, thank you for watching, and bye for now. Bye from me, and bye from my new friend here, who's gonna go on a journey now down the country, aren't you? Yeah, so see you. Bye for now.